why do people ghost us? Right? Like why does that happen? Now there's many reasons, but there's kind of a theme behind most of it. Oh, this is too emotional, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to back off on it for a while. Is that an objection that we can manage without, again, when you say, okay, well, let us know when you're ready, you basically jumped off the bus, put them in the driver's seat, and said, well, let me know if and when you decide to circle around, I'll be over here. And you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
yeah, because that's a big no-no. I mean,
Yeah. So how do you manage?
I found a gem, right, to get them to re-engage, right? And that consistency of twice a week, I found a gem, right? Like that's a strategy to at some point get them to re-engage. My question is, did you need to go down that road of disengaging to get them to re-engage? So let's take that as an objection and just talk about, are there different options of ways to manage that? I think it's acknowledge, respond, and pivot, right? It's acknowledge, respond, and pivot. And I think how you acknowledge is very important. It isn't, you know what I mean? Like the acknowledgement in this scenario is got to be, you got to bring, how do I say this? You got to bring them to reality, right? So the acknowledgement really needs to say, like if you said it to me, you know, we're super emotional, we're bummed, blah, blah. Cindy, I completely understand. All of our transactions in real estate right now are a little tougher and a little more challenging and a little more emotional on the buyer's side. But I want you to understand, you can trust me. We have solutions, we have strategies, we have ways of helping you to buy the right home, negotiate the price, and do a great job. We'll get you through this, right? I'm your pilot. I'm going to help you through this. You're in first class. Can't guarantee we won't have turbulence, but I'm gonna take you through this, right? So I think you bring the reality of the relationship together. I'm here for you. This is normal, right? All buyers are feeling the same thing you're feeling and experiencing it. I'm sorry that you're feeling that way. It is tough, but I got your back, and we have a plan to move forward. When you acknowledge, you're leading. When you respond, you're leading. When you pivot, you're leading. Everything you're saying is leading them down the path. So let me give you some nuggets on some better questions in that scenario. So the questions to ask are, how many offers have you received? Did your team or your company write any of the offers, right? Is there a dual commission agreement situation I'm competing against, right?
Okay.
Okay. Are any of the offers that have been submitted cash? Are any of the offers cash?
Okay.
How do you communicate to your seller the difference between, like, how much more weight do you put on a cash offer versus a conventional offer with an appraisal guarantee, right? Would you take a much lower offer that's cash versus a higher offer that comes with an appraisal guarantee that's conventional?
Okay.
Final question is, my folks really want the house. Based upon what you're seeing and whatnot, are we Are we number one? And if we're not number one, what are we going to do to be number one? Help me out here. I want to buy this house. You ask those 4 questions, you'll increase your probability of getting your offer accepted tenfold.
Where do you go from there to keep them engaged? Like,
Well, I think when again, a big decision like this can't be made emotionally, right?
right.
That's why they need the leader to, hey, let's carve through the emotion and right. Owning a home, why are you doing this? What's the benefit of home ownership? What's it going to look like and feel like to own your own home? Can you imagine being there? Can you, right? And when they throw up, hey, it's too emotional, we got to back off. Say, talk to me about that. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean it's too emotional? Help me understand that so I can help you through it. Right? You can't let a comment or an objection or a, hey, we're going to stop statement happen without a follow-up of, so tell me about that. Why are you feeling that way? You have to stay engaged. It's like Jackie and I, right? It's not healthy in our marriage if I'm pissed about her about something. Look, I'm just too emotional. I'm too pissed. I don't want to talk about it. And we don't talk for 3 weeks. That's probably not very healthy.
Yeah.
Same kind of deal.
Okay.
You got to dig, you got to stay engaged. You got to ask them why they're feeling that way and what's important to them. And, and then again, you can acknowledge it, then you can respond, you can pivot. And every time you're leading them, there's always a solution. There's always an answer. There's always a way to acknowledge, respond, and then pivot. It's never, ever, ever is it best strategy to go, well, okay, well, let us know when you're ready and you're not emotional anymore.
Right.
Or whatever the scenario is. It never is healthy and good to let them just go. There's always a what's next. It's acknowledging, responding, pivoting, leading, digging into that. Well, why do you feel that way? And why are you concerned there? And why do you want to wait? And why is it too emotional? And why? And then circling back around as to, well, remember, but this is why we're doing it, right? Well, and being a leader, acknowledging, responding, pivoting. I'm not causing you to be a pushy salesperson by any means, right? Like that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people need us to lead them through this. They really do. And that's where the great experience comes in, is because they had somebody they could rely on and trust and lead them through. And you know what I mean? Like that's what makes a great real estate experience.